Millenium Actress opens with a character watching a movie about a spaceship taking off, and as it accelerates towards the endless confines of space, an earthquake occurs in real life, confusing the character as well as us, the audience, as to what is truly real. Yup, this is definitely another Satoshi Kon picture. After having created arguably one of the best psychological thrillers in anime history, Satoshi Kon went ahead and worked on something entirely different while still maintaining his already defined style. While Perfect Blue was cold, hauntingly dark and melancholic, Millenium Actress opted to be warm, emotional and heartfelt. While it's a visually striking and beautifully crafted picture, it's due in no small part to it being a painstakingly handcrafted piece, which is self-evident in both drive and design. If you're watching this video, then you should probably already know what it is about, so let's just jump straight into it. The movie centers around an interview between the retired actress Chiyoko Fujiwara and Genya Tachibana, a fan of hers who used to work at the same studio as her. As the movie gets going, it becomes clear to us that Chiyoko is suffering from some kind of disease which affects her memories. The most prevalent example of this is Chiyoko refusing to continue the interview another day because, as she puts it, she won't be able to remember it. We get plenty of other hints, but the movie never explicitly states what exactly is wrong with her, so neither will I. It's not really the point of the film to diagnose her anyway. At its core, I view Millenium Actress as a film about an elderly actress remembering her life by conversing with a fan. However, because of the fact that she is having trouble remembering, she gets the memories of her real life and movies mixed up. It's not a particularly sad picture though. It focuses much more on the joy of her being able to remember and talk about her life once more, and plays around with the idea of what memories even mean. You look at Chiyoko as she is having the time of her life, acting out old memories, getting them tangled up with her own filmography, and it makes you ask, are memories what defines us, or is it the memories they invoke in us, or is it the personalities we've developed through those memories? Maybe it's a bit of them all, but oh well, I guess things are getting a little bit too deep, so let's just move along. Nonetheless, because of this setup, we end up with a story where Chiyoko's real-life events are being shown to us as they're intertwined with the scope of her filmography. It allows for a cinematic framework, nothing like quite anything we've seen before. One phenomenon that occurs with memory loss is that certain things, places or phrases may revitalize old memories from within. In this film, we get to see how the interviewer Genya catalyzes Chiyoko's memories with sheer enthusiasm, affection and joy. A clever and even more fun aspect of the narrative is how Genya and even his cameraman gets themselves mixed up in the memories of Chiyoko, which illustrates how Chiyoko gets her memories mixed up with the ones around her. Obviously, telling a story like this is both confusing and kind of avant-garde, but Kon succeeds to perfection, notably with some of the strongest use of transition and framework I have ever seen on film. Like, if Ang Lee's Hulk features the worst transition work in cinema, Millenium Actress probably features some of the best. Yeah, whenever filmmakers or fans talk about Millenium Actress, or any work of Satoshi Kon for that matter, his handling of transitions usually comes up. However, that is just not because of the fact that he makes them smooth and visually appealing. While most other filmmakers only use a couple of unorthodox scene transitions per movie, and sadly mostly for artistic flair, Kon long ago realized that the way one frame blends into another is just as important a narrative tool as any other. That's why even if they can come off as just quote-unquote cool transitions, they still retain completely different narrative purposes in each of his films. In Perfect Blue, transitions were used to enhance the madness and confusion surrounding the main character Mima. In Paprika, they were used to showcase the merging of reality and dreams, and here, in Millenium Actress, they're used to express how Chiyoko's memories are all tangled up, and how her perception of reality shifts between her memories as she regains them. I would love to sit here and say that Millenium Actress features Kan's greatest transition art, but that is just not the case as long as Paprika exists. If you watched Millenium Actress and the transition art and cinematography was what you liked the most about the film, then definitely check out Paprika. It may be slightly convoluted, but it's got some of the finest animation you will ever see. Another way to tell that Kan's use of transition serves the narrative and is not just to show off is the way they seamlessly blend into one another. One of the biggest reasons filmmakers don't overuse these types of transitions is because they get distracting too easy. Again, I refer to Ang Lee's Hulk. An audience can tell when a filmmaker tries to show off, and we just don't like that. To put things simple, there have to be meaning behind the things you do in filmmaking. Every time there is a transition, it has to feel organic, like the scene is flowing into its natural destination, from present to past, from plot point to plot point, from one action to another, and so on. In spite of having as many transitions as Millenium Actress does, it never feels distracting because the flow of the narrative is as perfectly handled as it is. Even further, the fact that Kan uses so many different ways of transitioning from frame to frame makes the use of completely normal cuts much more effective. Even if this film has lovely and well-written characters, which it does, the cinematography is certainly its strongest asset. We all know that movies can do so many things in so many different ways. They can be about studying characters, places, or ideas. They can be about making you angry or happy or sad. They can introduce a new concept, theme, or idea. They can take you on a journey or be an outcry about some kind of situation or issue that you've never heard of. There is no end to what the point of a movie can be, and yet I still struggled with this one. Yes, the cinematography is gorgeous, and yes, these characters are likable and easy to follow, but what exactly happens in the movie? At the end of the film, Chiyoko passes away, and Genya is probably just going to carry on and continue living his life. With the exception of Chiyoko briefly reminiscing about her past and Genya getting a bit closer to her, nothing really happens in the movie, and everything that happened, no matter how engaging, will ultimately just become a memory in the minds of Genya and his cameraman. Oh, I guess that's it. I guess that's kind of brilliant when you actually stop to think about it. What Satoshi Kon shows us with Millenium Actress is how years of history and a person's life can easily be summed up into a clip show of fast edited memories. We're all constantly documenting ourselves, we're all trying so hard to matter. But even if we become the most famous and important of people there ever is, chances are that our entire lives can be summed up in a documentary, and half of those images will be based on memories that aren't even perfectly replicated. Even this, as I'm writing it, or this, as in you watching this video, will become memories, and chances are that they won't make it into either of our personal documentaries. The only thing we can do is try to find those memories that keeps popping up in our heads and embrace them. And that is what Millenium Actress teaches.
All those moments will be lost in time, like tears in rain.
And that tragically is what we must do with Kan now. As you probably know, he passed away on August 24th, 2010 at the age of 46. I truly believe that had he still been here today, he could and probably would have changed the scape of anime and people's perception of it. However, the only thing we can do now is research, read and watch stuff about him, and of course enjoy his movies. In an industry where so many people choose to animate jiggling tits or underage crotches for the sake of paying the daily bill, Satoshi Kon chose animation not because he couldn't make live-action movies, but because live-action couldn't do what he wanted. If there ever was an anime director with a cinematic touch and artistic merit, Kon was it. And we owe ourselves to watch his films, because there won't be another one. There will never be a Kon movie as hyped as Your Name or Koi no Katachi, because he simply didn't make a movie at a time where the internet and the constant hype of social media was as prevalent as it is right now. Perfect Blue, Millenium Actress, Tokyo Godfathers, Paprika, and Paranoia Agent are not going to be popping up on your Twitter day in and day out from people hyping it. You gotta seek them out for yourself, and trust me, if you have ever had any love for anime, animation or film in any way, shape or form, then you won't regret it. Not one bit.